Today's episode of Going In Raw is sponsored by Indochino. Finding clothes that fit you just right can be incredibly challenging, but with Indochino, you can get custom-fitted suits, coats, and casual wear at surprisingly affordable prices.
Yeah, and you get to customize everything. After booking a virtual style consultation at Indochino.com and sending in my measurements, I got a great pair of pants that fit perfectly at a great price.
So visit one of the Indochino showrooms across North America, or book a virtual appointment and shop online at Indochino.com. And right now, you'll get $30 off any purchase of $399 or more when you enter code RAW at checkout. That's Indochino.com, promo code RAW.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss. You are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course taped live here at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson, the first Raw of the Thunderdome era, the first Raw after SummerSlam just went down, so we're going to talk about that. So according, Larson, to PW Insider, to get this thing started, the show was ripped up when Vince McMahon arrived to the Thunderdome a mere 40 minutes prior to airtime. We are encroaching on WCW.
Yeah, we're encroaching on real-time show being written.
At some point, he's going to send out, what was it, William Regal and Dean Malenko, I guess Dean's not working there anymore, to go put on a match while they figured out what was going to happen on the rest of the show. Just go wrestle. We're going to write the show. That happened in WCW, and we're getting closer and closer to that. Therefore, Raw was a bit of a mess tonight, don't you think?
Yeah, it was a bit all over the place, yeah. I mean, there was some strong stuff. I thought the stuff with Drew and Randy was good. That was good. I guess it explains a lot of stuff, though. Like, why was the Asuka-Sasha match all about, 6 minutes?
Man, why is it we didn't get an actual finish to a match until, what was it, maybe the 24-hour title match, I think? Something like that. It was pretty whack, dude. It was, yeah, there was, not a lot of wrestling. There was, one... I don't think there were any finishes that didn't happen without, some sort of distraction.
That sounds about right.
I could be wrong about that, but if there was one maybe. Yeah, Raw was it was completely all over the map. It really was not cohesive. Like you said, there were some things to appreciate. But we're gonna kick things off talking about the debut of Limitless Keith Lee. A lot of people up in arms over what I feel, to be honest with you, kind of some superficial changes. New music. New ring gear, but I don't know. I actually didn't think it was all that bad in terms of call-ups.
I mean, no, the position he was put in was pretty strong. You know, he comes out, interrupts Randy Orton, gets a match, granted. There's no satisfying conclusion of that match, but he's getting another shot at Orton at Payback.
Probably not going to be a satisfying ending to that one either.
Probably not either. But yeah, he's got new theme music, which is pretty generic. His NXT theme music, he provided the vocals to it, so that instantly is better. And then Gone Are Just the Trunks, which is what he wore in NXT, and now he's got almost it's somewhere between Kevin Owens' basketball shorts and the shorts that Samoa Joe wear.
Yeah,
somewhere between that.
Yeah, that's a good.
And then he's pretty much got a sleeveless athletic shirt, so it's form fitting. Just why?
What, the gear stuff?
All of it. I mean, I have my supposition as far as the gear stuff.
Why not?
Well, I mean, what he was doing in NXT. Here's the thing, and I hope this isn't the case, that Keith Lee is a thick dude.
Yeah.
He's in fantastic shape. He's got a six-pack, but he's a thick dude. And my concern is Vince is like, we got to put a shirt on him. And that's why he's wearing that now.
Yeah, that could be. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind the shirt.
I don't like the shorts, because when he walked out, I'm like, does he have a T-shirt? like tucked into his shorts.
You and I agree on that one. So that was my take on the gear. I'll be honest. The black shirt that he was wearing, I liked. I thought that it could have gone fine with a singlet. I thought that like some Mark Henry type gear, I think would actually look really
That's
good.
That's what I was
Keith
expecting,
Lee.
because when he came out and he had his, he has the hoodie with no sleeves on it, and I saw something underneath him. I was like, okay, they're putting something else on him, and that's what I thought it was going to be, was some sort of Mark Henry singlet type deal. Instead, he got like an Under Armour shirt and like running shorts essentially.
The shorts look goofy because they're just it looks almost like a skirt. Like when Samoa Joe wears it. It kind of borderline looks like a skirt, but like there's enough of it because they're red or yellow depending on the day, or green sometimes.
Yeah.
You can see the delineation between his legs.
Well, also there's like slits up the sides for Joe's shorts, and he's got compression shorts underneath. But I didn't notice if Keith Lee had that. I don't know. It was jarring. Seemed unnecessary. Part of it is you get so used to someone's packaging being a certain way, and there's nothing wrong with what he was wearing in NXT. I like that he just wore the trunks. I felt like he was comfortable.
I don't mind. I mean, look, if the idea, I'll put it this way: I think that placement on the card, what he did, what they have evidently planned for him, at least in the very short term, I think is a much bigger indicator for me as to like how I should feel about his call up than anything superficial. Yeah. I mean, the theme song we'll get used to. Like we've had people change their theme songs and half the time we're immediately like, oh, that's terrible. And then you just get used to it. I thought that, I liked his theme song, and I half agree with you that when a wrestler sings their own lyrics, it's pretty rad. Better. It's pretty great.
Better. It's instantly better.
I don't disagree with that necessarily. But, like, I'm not opposed to a theme change. I don't really care about that. The gear, I think, it could use a little tweaking. People lose their minds over this stuff because, we love Keith Lee, and we saw him in NXT, and we want that, preserved. But at the same time, dude, this isn't... look, Bob Roode came out, the same exact gear, same exact song, and what happened with him was far more egregious than we saw tonight.
Definitely was. Jorge D here in chat says, I don't think Vince cares about Keith Lee if he has Otis shirtless all the time. That could be the case. Just, Vince has a reputation, a history for wanting his wrestlers to be in a certain sort of shape.
I have a counter to that, which actually kind of uses that. What is Otis? He's a comedy guy.
Yeah.
And the belly is funny. Maybe Vince thinks, hey, and I'm not saying I agree with this, but it could be a strong sign of Vince saying, hey, I really want to do something cool with this guy. And I know it's going through Vince's lens, but I view fat tummies as a comedy thing. I want to differentiate this guy, toss a shirt on him, and like one that makes him look a bit more, I don't know, whatever. I don't see a problem with it because the guy interrupted Randy Orton's promo, checked him. Randy Orton scurries away. They have a match, and it was about 5 minutes and nothing. But Randy Orton was selling the crap out of Keith Lee. And then
the larger picture is the position was great. I'm not going to sit here and harp too much over a couple superficial things. It just in my mind. Here's the thing. I followed Keith Lee enough in his career to know him to his presentation to be a certain thing, and when he's in a position that's got a huge spotlight, and that has overnight changed, for a moment, it takes me out of it. Takes me out of it. So I'm like, well, new theme. That's not Bask in My Glory. I know it says Bask in My Glory at the beginning. They take like the first two bars of his NXT theme and then redo the rest of it to some generic kind of like orchestral metal thing. And then he takes off his hoodie and he's wearing something completely else. I'm like, okay, well that's different. All right, well I'll get used to it. But it's just, I want to be in the moment of him debuting because I like Keith Lee a lot. Yeah, I think he's got a ton of potential. I think he has the capability to be a massive star. Yeah, and I want his debut to be memorable, and I want it to go down great.
Yeah,
and I want to have historically speaking, but selfishly, I don't want to watch that again. I'm like, oh yeah, they changed his gear for some reason when he debuted. And just have that. I don't want that thought in my head. I just don't want it.
Okay, fair enough. I don't really care. I'm like, okay, wow. He interrupted Randy Orton. That's like Jericho interrupting The Rock. It's like, yeah, granted, Jericho had like probably top 5 of all time theme music, but not everybody can have that. And then I don't know. I thought it was great. And then he's got a match against Randy Orton at Payback. Who knows how that's going to land? But man, I mean, the fact that he had that NXT title for they gave him both the NXT and North American title. He had that for like a second, lost it so that he could go to main roster. I'm feeling pretty good about Keith Lee's chances right now.
Yeah, I think overall Vince, he probably sees a guy like Keith Lee, who he's a large dude. He's a super heavyweight that can move, that does stuff cruiserweights do. Plus, he could talk. He's got a ton of charisma. He's endlessly personable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this dude has everything to be a star.
Yeah. And if Vince
I guess part of it too.
Yeah.
I guess part of the thing with the shirt too. Like, if there's something like Keith Lee came up with, cool. But the idea that someone, Vince talks to someone and they go up to Keith and they say, hey, what about? I doubt they're gonna say, hey, Vince wants you to put a shirt on. Maybe they do. I don't know. But if it's a situation like here's some boards with some new gear for you. What do you think? And they're all like, put shirts on. And maybe he's just like, oh, okay, well, guess I'm wearing a shirt now.
And I get, dude, no, here's the thing. I totally get that you are absolutely justified in thinking that could potentially be it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that's the case.
See, this is the thing. This is what my mind is going through while he's debuting. When I just want to enjoy him debuting. I've grown so, like,
just enjoy it then, man. Enjoy it. Let go.
So cynical about stuff sometimes. When I see Keith Lee wearing a shirt, I'm like, oh, did they ask him to put that on?
Yeah.
Or do they, make him put that on? Mm-hmm. And that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to be that way. I want to be that way.
I don't think about
Keith
that.
Lee to wear what he wants to wear at the ring.
I speculate. It's probably the odds are probably greater that Vince said, "Oh, let's get a shirt on this guy and really showcase his power," and that's like weird logic in his head. Could be Keith Lee's like, man, I've been wearing the same dirty blue trunks for like 5 years ever since I've been on the indies, and I showed up. Can I get something new, please? Can I?
And if he does an interview tomorrow,
moment for me,
where he's like, I decided to start wearing running shorts and Under Armour shirts to the ring because I wanted something different when I debut in the main roster, then fine.
Vince, hear me out.
That's fine.
Look at my running shorts. Don't they look great? And this shirt, it looks amazing. I'm so comfortable now. And then everybody on the internet starts complaining about the old man. He should have wore that banana yellow outfit that I showed you from Stephanie's Instagram. Go check out Stephanie McMahon's Instagram. You'll see a great picture of Vince McMahon from like when Stephanie was like 3 years old.
Oh yeah,
wearing that banana yellow tucked in.
Was that a?
Those pants look super comfy.
The shirt did too. It looked like it was velour.
It all looked very comfy. Anyways.
Oh yeah, he's got like what's the brand with the little alligator on it? Lacoste or something like that.
Right.
That's what that is.
So like the last time there was a call up that got a match immediately in like the A scene on a show, I don't even remember. It's probably been a while.
I mean, this is the most impactful NXT debut at least since Finn Balor, for sure, since Kevin Owens.
That's off the top of my head. That feels right. And that's the one that we always say is like him, Kevin Owens. Those are the two best. Before we continue, Larson, here's a word from the sponsor of today's episode, Indochino. Finding clothes that fit you just right can be incredibly challenging, but with Indochino, you can get custom-fitted suits, coats, and casual wear at surprisingly affordable prices.
I imagine I'm like a lot of guys out there who are kind of between sizes. I can't tell you how many times I bought a pair of pants that fit great around the waist, but then they're a little too tight around the legs. But after booking a virtual style consultation at Indochino.com and sending in my measurements, I got a great pair of pants that fit perfectly at a great price. Now I know I got pants I can wear for basically any occasion that look great, and I had to spend a ton of money to get them.
Yeah, I got a dress shirt that fits great and looks amazing through Indochino without having to leave my house. With Indochino, you get to customize everything from the fabric to the lining to the lapel shape, and since your order is made to your exact measurements, it always fits perfectly. So forget off-the-rack suits that don't fit different body types. Indochino gives everyone a tailored fit.
Visit one of Indochino's showrooms across North America or book a virtual appointment and shop at Indochino.com. And right now you get $30 off any purchase of $399 or more when you enter code RAW at checkout.
That's Indochino.com, promo code RAW. Anyways, so Raw kicked off with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's out. And he wants the interactive. He's really trying to push the interactivity of Thunderdome, Larson. He's like, man, thank God I'm not going to, they let me keep this title. I'm not going to have the stink of empty Performance Center era really on me for too much longer if I just keep this title. He said, I want a thumbs up from everybody here at Thunderdome. And then you see a bunch of people with their thumbs doing this, cranking it.
Yeah, he just goes, wow, that's cool.
And then, Larson, the biggest issue for me tonight.
Audio's too loud.
Dude, it started burrowing in my head when I was trying to listen to Kevin Owens during the Kevin Owens show.
It went from too quiet on SmackDown to kind of just right at SummerSlam.
Perfect at SummerSlam.
To way too loud tonight. That was like the first thing. I started a little late, and the first thing I noticed when I started watching was it was Kevin Owens show. It was that segment. I was like, why is the audio so damn loud for Kevin Owens show?
Dude, it was so loud. They got to keep on working on that, man. Yeah. Anyways, Drew is like, hey, Randy, do you want to know the secret to how I won? He said, I'm hungry. He works harder than anybody else. And then there's a little bit of maybe shade. When other superstars go missing, I step up. Ooh. Drew said he's going to kick his ass or his head or something and send him back to Claymore Country.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And then he said, yeah, and then he goes up the ramp and he's so into Thunderdome. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so happy to be here."
Well, before he did that, I like this bit. So he talks to he wants to talk to Randy, so he says, "Can I do it to camera?" And he says, "Didn't Randy you win the greatest match ever? And didn't you go around and start saying that you were the greatest wrestler ever?"
Oh yeah.
Well, Drew, I just beat you, Randy, with the wrestling move.
I'm greatest wrestler now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is, I was hoping they'd make that more of a point in the storyline. Anyway, yeah, he goes up the ramp. He's about to do his pose. Randy comes up from behind him, lays him out.
Yeah.
And they start brawling towards gorilla position. Orton sticks his thumbs in Drew's eyes, pushes him into the wall, punts him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he made the motion of punting him. He was ways away, but that's good. It's safe.
Man, dude, yeah, they filmed that so entirely wrong.
Yeah,
it was like from it didn't look like it was anywhere near close. And they did the replay. It looked even further away.
They shot it from possibly the worst possible angle.
Yeah.
To make it look like it connected.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's the illusion. You got to suspend your disbelief.
Sure.
So the refs are back there trying to break it up. Drew is trying to get to his feet. Randy breaks free. Punts him again.
Yeah,
for the rest of the show, Drew is walking around obviously concussed.
I have written here in my Steve notes, the second punt is even further away because the second one looked worse than the first. And what the hell, Scrap Iron? You can't step up to Randy Orton? Get in there. Vince must love Scrap Iron. Anyways, Drew stumbles away, like you said, concussed. Live CTE happening on Raw tonight. After that, we got like a Keith Lee video package. He's here tonight. After that, Nia Jax gets interviewed. Interviewer, I think it's Mackenzie or Sarah.
No, Sarah.
Okay, one of them said, "Hey Nia." Oh no, these are my notes here. I just had, "Where's Pat Buck?" Because wherever Nia Jax is, but she lets her know. She's like, "Hey, what's going on? You were suspended," and she said, "All I had to do to be reinstated is apologize." Because she made it sound like she was going to say something gross. But she's like, "Where's your mind? You're in the gutter. You're disgusting." So anyways, Shayna shows up and she says, "Yeah, we're all counting down to the moment you're going to say something or do something to get yourself suspended or fired." And Nia's like, she says something like, "Call me if you want to do something." And then Shayna's like, "Yeah, I'm going to call you. I'll call you Haystacks Calhoun."
Nia says if you need help with Bayley.
"Yeah, call me." And she says, "Yeah, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you Haystacks Calhoun." And then Nia said, Nia still ain't perfect, but her reactions when she's sort of in this like Nia don't give an F phase of her character, when she just sort of looks and says, "Okay, rude," and then calls Shayna like she says she looks like an Addams Family reject, which is like the most Bruce Pritchard joke possible. Who even knows what the Addams Family is anymore?
I know.
So yeah, I don't know. Nia kind of made me laugh here.
Yeah, she was pretty good here. After that, we had Bayley versus Shayna Baszler. Before the match began, Nia comes out to the ramp. Shayna pretty much instantly starts destroying Bayley's arm. Eventually, though, Bayley does turn the tables after like Shayna puts her in a triangle. Sasha distracts Shayna. Baszler goes after, and that's when Bayley hits a double axe handle on Shayna to turn the tables a bit. So then she goes on the attack, tosses Shayna out of the ring. Nia runs down from the stage, pulls Shayna off the apron right as she's about to get back in the ring. They're brawling ringside. Ref calls for the bell. Nia shoves Shayna into the apron, tosses her back in the ring, and then Sasha and Bayley are talking trash in the ring, and they back out. They get out of the ring. They're kind of backing up the ramp. And then Sasha and Nia kind of turn their attention towards Sasha and Bayley and kind of look at each other.
Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, we kind of find these people more annoying than we find ourselves. So,
Yes.
Or each other, rather. So yeah, DQ loss for Bayley. Yeah, I was, yeah. I just gave that like 1.5 star, man. It wasn't even a real match.
No,
How am I supposed to rate
no.
that? I did love the visual at the beginning of this, though, when Bayley and Sasha came out, and Bayley, given that it was her match, gets up on the apron, covered in gold, and you see Sasha down there just hugging her tag team title.
Well, also during the match when Sasha had the tag titles, and then she was clutching the SmackDown Women's title like this, and she looked down at it. And then at one point, Shayna yelled at her, "Hey, all those should be mine." And Sasha goes, "I have all the gold. I have all the gold."
Yep. So after that, let's see here. Yeah, this
Kevin
was
Owens knocks on the door.
Oh God, talk about y'all want to talk about somebody who's just buried, and I don't have much hope for him. Aleister Black. This guy was my favorite in NXT.
He's got like a solid snake gimmick now.
It's so goofy. Kevin Owens goes up to the stupid door and like opens it up, and they don't like the camera doesn't look inside or anything. He just starts like awkwardly saying some weird Vince dialogue. Hey, we got the show coming up here in a second. Are you gonna be out there? And then he's like, okay, oh, all right. He's just acting like Aleister's a piece of crap. Then he leaves, and you see Aleister's hand come and like close the door. So we have the Kevin Owens show now. He introduces Aleister Black. I honestly was surprised that Aleister Black even came down. I thought they were going to do a thing where like for weeks he won't leave his room because he doesn't have an eye or some crap like that.
Yeah, instead he's just scared of ring steps now.
Dude, so yeah, he comes out with his eye bandaged up. He looks really cool with it. But like he looks at the ring steps. Oh, I thought he looked pretty cool. He rocks the eye bandage pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a black one. It's cool.
It's goofy.
You think
it's
so?
Really goofy. Yeah, it's super goofy.
I like it anyways. So he comes down. Yeah, like you said, he looks at the ring steps like they're going to attack him or something. So he decides to not use the ring steps. He goes up the other way to the ring.
He rolls in the ring, yeah.
Sits down. And I was saying here in my Steve notes and on Twitter, how cool it'd be if now he has a Mr. No Depth Perception gimmick.
That's what it should be.
Remember that? I think it was Kevin Nealon, right? Saturday Night Live. Boy, that was funny stuff.
That's what it should be. He should be like tripping on the ropes when he's getting in the ring because you can't really judge where they're at.
Does like a black mask, but the guy's like 20 feet away.
Exactly. So Kevin Owens says, "How's your eye doing?" Aleister says, "Just roll the footage." I've seen it a million times. Just roll it.
Yeah.
So they roll the footage of him getting his eye poked out or puncture or whatever. And Kevin Owens like, you know what? I think I know what you're going through, what you're feeling, Aleister, because Seth and Buddy, they can really get in your skin. They may be considered stopping wrestling. Ask Rey, ask Dominik. They get in your head. They mess with it. That's something Seth loves to do. And Owen says again, hey, I did a lot of terrible things to a lot of people. I'm not trying to go down that same path. I'm choosing a different path. Seth, though, is not like that. And Aleister just collapses onto the mat. Mm-hmm. Just falls over.
And Kevin Owens is like, hey, what, are you okay? Can we get this guy some help?
And then Aleister hits him with a back elbow and then a black mass.
Mm-hmm, yeah, really puts him down. And then he sort of stalks out. Now, look, man, if this is a clean slate for Aleister Black, if tonight was just, okay, let's get him to the point of being heel, let's do that, and let's move on. I was actually in my car, and I didn't actually come up with a good scenario, but I'm like, man, you have such a great opportunity here. Okay, we're going to change the direction. How do you get this interview done with him looking like $1 million, like he's a badass? Tonight didn't accomplish that because he's just scared. He's afraid of ring steps, Larson.
Yeah.
But we're going to get an Aleister Black, Kevin Owens program. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, me too, because the matches should be good. I mean, like in one sense, I do kind of like that and granted this wasn't stated explicitly, that perhaps Aleister Black took offense to Kevin Owens saying, "Oh, I know how you feel." Well, Kevin Owens has both his eyes.
Yeah.
You know, he can see out of both his eyes.
He could have jumped on that. You know, it's like you have no idea. You have no idea what I feel like. I'm running into doorways all the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm like a Boston Dynamics robot.
I open up. I'm trying to pour my milk, and milk gets on the floor everywhere.
I poured it on the floor. Okay, I think it's going to my cup. It's not. It's going on the floor.
I'm trying to eat my ice cream bar, and I'm like missing. It's like hitting my other eye.
So I got ice cream all over my cheek.
You don't even want to know what's going on with Zelina.
Oh, God. So next we get a quick shot of Sasha and Bayley. They're backstage arguing or something, and then Charlie rolls up to him and like, hey, how do you feel now that you got away from Shayna and Baszler? And like, Shayna and Nia, sorry. It's like, yeah, we just escaped. Sasha's got a rematch for the Raw Women's title tonight that she's got to prepare for. Essentially, get away. After that 24/7 title match, Cedric Alexander.
Hey, this is a good point. Hold on, I'm sorry. Fear and Loathing said, I have to keep kayfabe and not be on Twitch. He was wearing sunglasses that one time that I saw him anyways. Maybe it was for a Friendo Club Arcade, I forget. But I think he's keeping kayfabe up, dude. Oh. I mean, Zelina and Bianca did on that stream that one time, so good on them.
So Cedric versus Akira Tozawa versus Shelton Benjamin versus R-Truth for the 24/7 title. Not much of a match. Cedric and Shelton had a really great back and forth that lasted like 45 seconds, but it was really good.
Yeah.
So Shelton powerbombs Tozawa out of the ring. However, it's right into the ninjas.
Yeah.
They catch Tozawa.
He's good.
Put him on the apron. Tozawa then sends Shelton out of the ring. The ninjas hold him back as Tozawa rolls up R-Truth for the win, and then Shelton just absolutely destroys all the ninjas ringside as Tozawa escapes.
Man, I know. Look, I love R-Truth. I want to keep him involved in stuff. I like Akira Tozawa. The ninja stuff is goofy. It's comedy. I love Shelton Benjamin, and I love him having the title. Just make it a legit title of some sort.
This is what I'm hoping. So there wasn't a whole lot of Raw Underground tonight.
No.
One of them was Hurt Business showing back up.
Yeah.
And there was a brawl between Viking Raiders and Hurt Business. Maybe we got Lashley in this U.S. title picture. Maybe they'll put MVP and Shelton in the tag team picture.
Oh, yeah.
And,
that could be cool.
Yeah.
That could be neat.
Yeah, I want to see Shelton Benjamin with the title. Like, 24/7 title is like the lowest.
Here's the thing. Hurt Business right now is one of my favorite things in wrestling. It's absolutely one of my favorite things in wrestling. The fact that Shelton Benjamin is there, I love, because I think he's great. And when when he's being like a dick, it's awesome. He shouldn't be messing around with ninjas. He shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be fiddling around with R-Truth. He should be doing the Raw Underground stuff, just killing people and breaking arms. That's what he should be doing.
Yep.
So. But then he also looks cool with gold. So, yeah, maybe they'll be tag champs.
Tag titles, man. Tag titles.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, forhims.com. Hey, Larson.
Yeah?
Do you feel like you're moving forward with your life while that hairline of yours is moving backwards? 66% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. But I'm here to tell you that the best time to prevent even more hair loss is to do something right now while you still have some hair up on your dome.
You know, it can be tough for guys to go to the doctor and get care for issues that may seem uncomfortable, even if they are totally normal and completely treatable. Thanks to the wonders of science, hair loss can be optional. Hims connects you with FDA-approved products to treat hair loss.
Yeah, Hims connects you with licensed medical professionals online. All you got to do is answer a few questions for free to see if FDA-approved hair loss treatments are right for you. If approved, products are shipped directly to your door.
Today, Hims is giving you their best offer yet. If you're not happy with your results after 90 days, Hims will give you a full refund. And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get their first visit absolutely free. Go to forhims.com/GIR.
Remember, that's forhims.com/GIR. Full refund of price paid available for first 90-day supply. Refund requests must be made between 90 and 180 days after product shipment delivered. Prescription products require an online consultation with a medical professional who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
So Randy Orton's walking backstage. I believe Sarah walks up to him. Hey, do you have a comment for what Drew had to say about him or what you did to him? And he goes, yeah, I have a comment, and then walks away.
Pooped in his bag.
Yeah. I made him shake my hand. After that, he had a promo. For Randy,
after that, he had a promo, and he was like, hey, for the longest time, I did what I wanted to who I wanted, whenever I wanted, but last night that didn't work. And he says, he said, you know what, earlier tonight, you want to know why I kicked you 2 times? Because you offered me a rematch out of pity. Man, he was pissed, disrespectful, offering a rematch out of pity. But instead of instead of getting to continue his promo, bask in his glory, Keith Lee.
That's what his new song kind of sounds like.
Oh, good. I did not remember it at all. I imagine I will at some point. I hope.
I mean, that's not note for note, but that's just the general the vibe I remember.
I hope it'll be a memorable theme at some point. But tonight, between commentary talking, the deafening roar of the 2K18 crowd noise, which somebody on Twitter claims.
Yeah, I saw that.
One of the friendos on Twitter's
wrestling theme
claims up and down that this was literally just 2K18. Don't know if it's true or not.
So anyways, Keith Lee interrupts. He walks down the ring, asks Randy, are you perplexed? Well, that wouldn't make sense. So since they haven't been introduced, so he introduces himself and he says, I'm there to offer you, Randy, a chance to stop what you're doing and bask in my glory.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Randy, you've been called many things, the Viper, the Apex Predator, a Legend Killer. Keith Lee says, I've been called many things too, but one thing he is for certain, and that is limitless. And since he's on Raw, and Orton, maybe you're looking for a fight. With all respect to Keith Lee's friend Drew McIntyre, he'd like to step up if Randy is willing to accept the challenge to face him one-on-one right now. And I love this. Orton goes, oh, you want to face me right now, right here? Maybe later. Rolls out of the ring.
Zondo here in chat says Vince hates bask in his glory as a catchphrase, doesn't he? Well, he said it in the very first part of his promo.
And it's in his theme.
And it's in his theme still. So I don't think that's the case. So to give a shout out here, it was MLP_Shad, Shad702 on Twitter that claims to have matched up the 2K18, I think it was, crowd noise to to that stuff. I don't know. Anyways, so that happened.
I mean, it's great. It's great he interrupted Orton. And
Yeah.
hopefully the momentum continues. I don't know how I feel about his odds of winning at Payback. They probably won't have a clean finish whatsoever.
Yeah, the intention, and that's what you have to go by, in my opinion, is pretty solid. Orton's the most high-profile guy they have on Raw right now, and that's interrupting him is a pretty big deal. Getting a match with him is a pretty big deal.
It is. Next, Angel Garza and Zelina Vega have an interview backstage with Charlie. Charlie asks Vega, "Hey, the evidence seems pretty solid at this point. You can admit to poisoning Montez Ford?" She denies it again, says the footage proves nothing. And then Angel Garza interrupts her and it's like, "Hey, we've all been caught. Who hasn't been caught before?"
Right. And she's like, "Hey, idiot, stop it." So she storms off. And then he tries to get a threesome going with Charlie and the ever-present Demi Burnett. Burnett. It's weird that I know her name now. I didn't think she was going to be.
Well, they say it all the time.
She was going to be one of the MVPs of Thunderdome, the empty arena era. Anyways, let's see here. So after
then there was match next. Angel Garza.
Yeah,
he walked down the ring with Demi Burnett and Andrade. He was taking on Montez Ford. Street Profits had a bit of a promo picture-in-picture beforehand. Dawkins doesn't think that Garza is a Lothario. He says anybody can rip their pants off, and he's about to do it. Montez stops him. Montez says, it's 8:24. He's got the Mamba mentality. He says Garza may have Andrade in his corner, but things are far from tranquilo between them, and they want the smoke. And Montez Ford wins. Frog splash. Another beautiful frog splash.
He gets more air every time he does one of these things. It's absolutely crazy.
It's spectacular, man. So Hanson, in the middle of the match, walks down ringside. He presents Demi with a turkey leg. Says, hey, do you want to get out of here?
The amazing part about this was off camera, Angelo Dawkins cheering loudly, openly for Ivar coming in and stealing Demi with a turkey leg. I was dying laughing. Angelo Dawkins is so funny.
Yeah,
I was
that
cracking
led to Ford picking up the win with the frog splash.
Yeah.
The tag division is an absolute mess right now.
It's
they don't know
disaster.
what they're doing with anything. They don't know what they're doing with that.
A disaster. WWE's tag division is actually, it's for all the talent they have, you'd think it'd be a no-brainer to just start pairing people up. Like, you're right, why isn't 2 out of the 3 people in Hurt Business, why are they not in the tag division? It's like Heavy Machinery, one of the guys is the Money in the Bank winner. What is going on? It's a disaster.
I mean, I feel like Vince sees tag teams as a vessel to launch solo careers and nothing more.
It could be a lot more, but I mean, he's got a point. It's a pretty good vessel to launch a solo career.
It is, but tag team wrestling is an art form unto itself, and when done well, and they have several tag teams that do it very well.
Yeah,
it could tell some pretty cool stories. He just doesn't seem interested in any of it.
Who wants to see that? Anyways, so after that, Nia Jax is backstage. She goes up to Shayna. She's like, hey, I really want to get those tag titles. What do you say? And Shayna's like, how about this? I will get those with you if you just stay off my case. Which you would think that if you're tag champions with somebody, either A, they're not going to be attacking you, so mission accomplished, but B, you also have to see this person quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, so I don't know why she would, whatever. Anyways.
I mean, there's a situation like some bands, especially they've been together for a long time, make a ton of money when they do shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't see each other apart from rehearsal and show times.
It's just a business for them at that point. Yeah,
exactly.
You just see their employees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just business.
This is going to be a fun team, though. I think this is going to be a really fun team.
Because Nia says, sure, but if you follow my lead, and then Shayna slaps the hell out of her.
And what did Nia do? No sold it. That was a stiff shot, and she just shook it off. That was hilarious.
That was pretty great.
Meanwhile, in a really lovely bit of blocking, they leave and enter in the same shot, Ruby and Liv, and then Bianca joins them. It's like the West Wing here, man. It's great.
And doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, it's not West Side Story.
West Wing. Sorry, I thought you meant West Side Story.
No, but I do have a Jets and Sharks reference here later on during the lumberjack match.
Right, good.
So
that's called foreshadowing, then.
Exactly. Look at us. We're at it. So Bianca says something about, or no, Ruby mentions the IIconics, and then Bianca mentions Zelina. So they're having a 6-man tag match, which happened next. And of course, the star of any match that Bianca Belair is in fact Bianca Belair.
Correct.
She is absolutely on fire, man. God, they need to push her to the moon.
Oh hell yeah, man! She's so good.
With Cameron Grimes.
She's so good. Yeah, she gets the win for her team, hitting KOD on Zelina, I believe.
Yeah, she laid out Zelina. Well, she got like a hot tag type thing, glam slam, did like a standing moonsault or something, maybe springboard. She got a 2, broken up by the IIconics. Zelina tried to roll up, but no, KOD gets 3.
Yeah,
she's terrific.
After that, we got Ricochet and Cedric Alexander arm wrestling backstage. These two guys are really good together. They have good chemistry, and their back and forth feels very natural.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I feel like the most comfortable Ricochet feels is what he was with Cedric.
Let me ask you something.
Like in terms of doing promo type stuff. What?
Which of these guys is going to turn and go to the Hurt Business? Because I think he's recruiting Cedric, which happens now. Mm-hmm. But how great would it be if Ricochet's like, man, this guy keeps on trying to recruit Cedric, and I'm hearing all these points that he's making because he's doing it in front of me. I'm the one and only.
I'm the one and only.
Like, you keep on saying that. Why can't I be the one and only with the Hurt Business?
Yeah. That'd be a fun twist. Anyways, Mark Henry walks in and says, hey, I don't want to ruin your fun, but I got to take this table unless one of you want to arm wrestle me. Of course, neither one wants to wrestle the world's strongest man.
Dude, can we please get Mark Henry as GM of Raw? How amazing would that be? That'd be great.
That'd be fantastic.
Anyways, Lashley confirms they have a U.S. title match at Payback. That's cool.
Yeah. So Mark Henry leaves. MVP walks in. He asks what Ricochet is doing.
Oh, sorry.
Cedric. Yeah, Cedric. What are you doing? He said, you just lost that 24/7 title, and you're back here arm wrestling instead rather than going for that belt. Gives him some grief for it. Ricochet more or less tells MVP to leave. MVP more or less tells Ricochet to get lost. MVP then says that the Hurt Business is a family, but if Cedric isn't going to join, there's only really one way to convince him, which I'd assume would be violence.
Yeah, violence. That's how he does it.
Violence. And then we get the arm wrestling contest hosted by Mark Henry.
Yeah, and it's at that point that Lashley says, next week at Payback, I'm going to take that U.S. title from you. And Apollo says, listen, dude, same thing that happened to MVP just yesterday, it's going to happen to you. Mark Henry.
I love Mark Henry's like glowing introduction of Apollo Crews.
Dude, he's so good. I want a Mark Henry introduction. I think it'd be great. I bet
Is he on Cameo?
Probably. Everybody's on Cameo. We should get on Cameo. $15 and a ham sandwich in advance.
Wow, I think the ham sandwich is just pushing things a bit too much.
You think so? That's over the top?
But also, they have to, mail it to you? How are you going to collect on your ham sandwich?
But given that Steve here is trademarked by Going in Raw owns that, I'd have to do my weird shoot name instead. Be Going in Raw Star, in parentheses, Steve.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so getting back to this, Lashley and Apollo, they start to lock up. He's doing the weird over the top thing where he's getting the hand in there, and then he's like, whoa, hold on, this jacket can't contain these muscles, so he takes it off. He gets back in there, and then I guess I didn't know this, but when you step under the table,
I guess you can't put your foot under there.
that's illegal. And like Apollo, didn't he like step on his foot and then like he squashed him basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
That was hilarious. And Apollo is great, man. Whenever they let him show that personality of his, because it was so sneaky, and you think that he's a babyface, so he's going to take the chump way out because that's how WWE does baby faces. But he like points at him and he laughs.
Yeah, it was great.
And then he gets out of there.
It was great. So after that, we got a Dom Seth recap from SummerSlam. Then we get an interview with the Mysterio family. Rey is asked, do you feel any conflicting emotions today? He says, no, I'm proud of Dom. He stepped in the ring against one of the most dangerous men in WWE, and he gave Seth hell. Couldn't ask for more. Then, Dom, are you nervous? He said, yeah, I was terrified, but I knew I had my family in my corner, and that gave me some courage. And then Rey says, one day Seth will have a family of his own. He'll understand what he put the Mysterio family through and have to deal with the consequences of that for the rest of his life. But tonight, this bit was kind of confusing. So Rey says, tonight it's not about winning or losing. I'm proud of Dominik. I know how much pain he's in. We know tonight is going to be a great night. Finally get to share the ring with my son. And I'll be damned if Seth ruins this moment. And talks about how Seth keeps on saying the greater good is the future of Raw. And he says, no, you look at the future of Raw right here. Points to Dominik.
Well, he knew that Retribution was going to attack because he was given the script probably 5 minutes prior to this interview.
Yeah. Well, no, at that moment, they probably didn't write Retribution to the show.
That's a good point. He probably didn't know that. So after that, dude, it's just bad immediately.
This is so bad.
I don't even know why they do this stuff. I mean, I kind of do. Like, Ulysses texted me, and he was like, why is Lana even on this show if they don't do anything with her? And I said, because she has, like, a huge social media following. It's why AEW brought Zack Ryder over to the company for, like, 2 matches and never talked. It's because he has 2 million Twitter followers. It's good business. But this is so boring. So Lana and Natty come out, and they're all dressed in, like, nice white outfits. And they're going to have, like, some sort of tribute to Mickie James. I left the room, Larson. What happened here?
I actually kind of did, too, for a moment. I knew it was going to be bad. But I got enough of what was going on to piece it together. So they said they're going to induct a very special woman to the Hall of Fame. And Lana starts putting Natalya over. So you think, okay, this is weird. Is Lana going to do a Hall of Fame thing for Natalya? And Natalya's like, no, I'll get my Hall of Fame induction at some point. But tonight we're going to pay tribute to Mickie James. And tonight, Mickey's trail ends. We're going to retire her.
Yeah.
And then Natalya says, I spent a ton of time putting together this highlight reel. Here, let's throw to it now. And it's just a blank screen.
And that's when I left because I got all that.
Oh, then you didn't really miss anything.
And then I just saw a GIF of Mickie James running down. And that's all I saw of this.
That was it. That was the end of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you pretty much saw it all. So there's nothing. There's no highlight reel. They laugh because no highlights for her career. Mickie then sprints down the ring, shoves Natalya over, and gives Lana Mickie James.
Okay. All right. Didn't see that.
That's it.
After that, the Hurt Business head to Raw Underground. And I was thinking to myself, I might actually start at the right time tonight. Raw Underground is in the Thunderdome Underground somewhere. It's not as orange now.
But it's the same place it always was.
What's that?
It's the same place it always was. It's still the same space as it was before, wasn't it?
I thought this was a different space. Well, it was lit different.
No, like the actual where the ring is the same space.
The same, like, location?
I think so.
I just figured they taped this in a different room in Thunderdome, like at the Amway Center.
No, I don't think so.
Why was the lighting different then? I liked when it was grungy and rusty, and it wasn't like that tonight.
No, it wasn't, but I thought it was the same backdrop.
It could be. It could totally be. Anyways, when we get to Raw Underground, Bobby Lashley is literally killing a man, which was fascinating. It was
before that, he goes up to Shane as they're... yes, all this says no, they're in the arena. Okay. He goes up to Shane as he's about to enter, and it's like, I want to fight. Mm-hmm. Shane's like, you come to the right place.
He needs like a top hat. And like
a monocle.
Yeah, monocle. I mean, just like an old-timey circus guy, basically.
Pretty much.
Come to the right place, hon.
So, yeah, we go back, and Lashley is literally choking the life out of somebody. And that person just falls limp.
It was pretty disturbing because Lashley wanted to get more of it, and then he just like falls to the ground. No, they shove him out off the thing, and he's just laying there. And the guy simulated.
The dude, when he got pushed off, like Lashley just kind of pushed him off, and his head almost hit the ring post.
Yeah, the guy simulated dead really good, really good.
Yeah,
it was scary.
Yeah, it was scary. So then, so Bobby wants to fight more people. Dolph steps in.
Bad move, Dolph.
I mean, he made it a bit competitive for a while.
Oh yeah, he didn't die.
No. Lashley just shoved him out of the ring into a wall.
Yeah, Dolph had some moments. He could like try to get his back a couple times. He took him down once, but Lashley slammed him a couple times, and then he just threw him out of the ring against the wall, and everybody reacted like Dolph did die. Let's see here. Then they throw some guy who looked like he didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, he legit looked like he didn't even know why he was there.
He looked like he was lost, and then I think he just got like kicked to death or something, and he falls like a sack of potatoes. So that was pretty entertaining stuff. After that, we had Randy Orton versus Keith Lee in his debut Raw match. And then that's when I noticed here is Vince making Keith. I even wrote this down. Is Vince making Keith wear a shirt? FFS. You know what that means. Anyways, I did like, though, that to start, Randy Orton was really selling Keith's power. And
athleticism. We did that leapfrog thing where, Randy ended up in the corner. He was...
Yeah, he did that. There was a bit where he tried to punch him, and he just grabbed the fist, and he looked at him.
Superman
that was
2.
Really good stuff. Superman 2, exactly. That was good stuff. We got a fun splash. Randy, at some point, was able to get the advantage down. I'm sorry, to the advantage and got Keith Lee down. Orton went for a draping DDT as Keith Lee was trying to get back into the ring. He hits it, loads up a punt, and then Drew attacked Randy from behind, runs him off, and then Keith Lee evidently. That was another thing that, like, I know a lot of people were talking about, and I talked about this too, is that Keith Lee just sort of quantum leaped out of the ring at that point.
Teleported out of the way, yeah.
Given that it has already been established that Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre were friends, been kind of nice to see Keith Lee maybe in the ring, maybe say, hey, are you okay? That wasn't cool what you just did because it was my match.
Instead, he had an interview later where he more or less said that.
Which I was really happy about. I was like, oh, wow, okay, that's actually cool they did that. But it would have been nice in the moment just to make it feel less weird that he just all of a sudden disappears.
It could have been a thing where Keith Lee steps up to him and was like, the heck, man?
Anything.
And Drew, it like not even mic'd.
Yeah.
Just a little back and forth.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Like, hey, sorry, got my anger got the better of me, and Keith Lee's like, all right, it's fine. Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Any interaction. I wonder if they thought WWE is weird, and I wonder if it's a TV thing where they think, well, maybe if these guys are together now, it would make no sense for them not to be together next time we see Drew McIntyre, because Keith Lee would be able to have his back in that case. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's a weird Vince TV thing. I don't know.
Maybe,
I'm grasping for straws here anyways.
Maybe,
after that.
But then we did see Drew next, and he's interviewed. Says he's really happy for Keith, but he doesn't need Keith fighting his battles for him. And then Charlie asks, Drew, what have you been experiencing? And Drew says, I don't feel too good. Obviously concussed. He says Randy tried to end his career, and then Randy attacks from behind and punts him again.
Yeah, dude, so many punts. That was pretty great.
After not doing punts forever.
Yeah. So then we have Charlie outside the trainer's office. She's like, I've been ear hustling a little bit. It ain't looking good. Doctors say it could be a skull fracture. There could be bleeding in the brain.
We just witnessed the live on air HIPAA violation.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Charlie with the scoop. So yeah, we're gonna keep appraised of that situation. After that, Sasha Banks versus.
Why the hell was this match so short?
Dude, even this, I don't even know why. I gave it like 2 3/4 because it had a finish, but there was like nothing going on here. You get Sasha Banks and Asuka, and you get a lumberjack match. You think, oh, this could be really cool.
It was more or less they added the lumberjacks, but it was in the ring. A lot of this, especially the finish, pretty much the same beats they hit at SummerSlam.
It was, yeah, it totally was, yeah. Asuka even hit, so it wasn't both of them from the top. But Asuka hit the DDT from the top turnbuckle. She gets the ankle lock in. Sasha sends her out. Bayley, I think, tries to take out. Oh no! Then Sasha like goes flipping out to the outside. Tries to take out Asuka, but instead she takes out the Riott Squad. That was actually a pretty good spot.
Yeah, there was that good spot where Asuka took out it was right after that. So Asuka takes out Sasha, and then she turns around and starts like going after Bayley. And Bayley starts going through the rest of the heels on the heel side of the ring, and Bayley's just shoving people in front of her.
Asuka was, yeah. It was like
no, Bayley was shoving people in front of her, and Asuka was pushing.
Oh, and then Asuka was like pushing them all away. It was like that. I was
yeah.
like, man, it's like Darth Vader in Rogue One at the end there. That was rad. That was really cool. In any event, Sasha gets the advantage, but then in the end, so Sasha hits a frog splash. Gets like a really close 2 or like almost a 3. Bayley wants a chair. Shayna attacks Bayley, forgetting chair. That distracts Sasha. Asuka takes advantage. Asuka lock. Sasha taps.
Yep. Next, we see it looks to be the same ambulance that the Fiend emerged from on SmackDown. Is pulling out of the Amway Center. Charlie says Drew was loaded into it, being taken to the hospital. Keith Lee happens to be nearby. He's asked, what's going through your mind? And he says there's a large portion of him that just wants to say, hey, man, don't interfere with my debut. But that's his friend that just got taken off in the ambulance. He says Drew is one of the toughest men he's ever met. He's going to be okay. But Randy Orton, can't say the same for him.
I like that. After that, poor Cedric Alexander is getting handled by Lashley in Raw Underground. They didn't even let Cedric like change. Nobody else, from what I can tell, nobody else wears their merch shirt at Raw Underground.
Or their wrestling gear.
Or their wrestling gear. What was Ced thinking?
Don't know. He wasn't, evidently.
Anyways, he was getting murdered by Lashley.
Meanwhile, Lashley is destroying everybody in dress shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And then Raw Underground, it just goes out of control. Hurt Business is just breaking everybody, breaking arms left and right. It was pretty great, to be honest with you.
Viking Raiders hop in there. They all brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt Business stands tall. I kind of felt like Shane at the end was about to say, you guys want to take this place off my hands?
Mm-hmm.
You guys want Raw Underground? That'd be great.
So after that, builds up businesses and then sells them.
After that, Keith Lee versus Randy Orton announced for Payback. It's a smart move to give Randy kind of an intermediate storyline, so he's not taking that title right off Drew a week after he lost to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving it, they're letting it breathe. So I'm guessing if Randy's going to win the belt, it's going to be a Clash. And it's especially with the amount of violence that he doled out towards Drew tonight.
Yeah,
building some additional heat to the proceedings.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Like, he just doled out 3 punts to Drew McIntyre. I don't know that Drew's going to come back and lose that title at that point. They might spin Randy off into something else.
That's entirely possible.
Because, dude, 3 punts and then he's going to lose a title. I mean, it's possible, but man. So anyways, after that we had our main event, Rey Mysterio and Walter versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. And you got Seth Rollins there, and Murphy can make people look like $1 million. Dom was definitely holding his own, but you get a guy in there with Buddy Murphy, and man,
Buddy can make other people look like $1 million, but he looks like basically a bumbling fool half the time when he's in the ring, unfortunately, because he's a fantastic wrestler. But basically, everybody kicks his ass.
He's booked,
basically everybody.
Murphy knows exactly how to take direction and what he's supposed to do. And what he's supposed to do is, like you said, be a bumbling fool, and he plays that really, really well.
Yeah, he's hapless.
He is
endlessly
hapless.
and horribly hapless in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He does it really well.
Yeah, he does. There was good stuff here, though. I mean, it still shocks me that even with a guy like Dominik, who only has, not a lot of experience in the ring on this level of a stage anyways, Murphy totally spikes himself on that DDT. Like, I mean, I know he
pro, man.
He puts his hand down and stuff. He could probably do it on his own. He could probably have a blow-up doll do it. But it's still very impressive to see it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. It kind of felt like this was a prelude. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the match at Payback, rematch of this, since we didn't get the clean finish.
Mm-hmm. That could totally be, yeah.
So
maybe that one will be about winning.
Yeah, there you go. So Rey and Dominik hit double 619s on Buddy. Dominik goes up to the top. Lights flicker. Seth pushes him off. Retribution hits the ring. Seth and Buddy flee. At this point, Rey is out of the ring, so Retribution is circling Dominik. Rey gets back in, and then Retribution proceeds to beat him down, both of them, and then Dijak and somebody else lawn dart Rey into the ring post.
Yeah.
You could hear Dijak talking the whole time.
Yeah. This was not happy with this ending, man. I'm so done with the Retribution.
It sucks,
dude. Just shit or get off the pot. I'm sick of it. Like, declare, show some faces. What's your damn manifesto? What is your purpose? Get into a feud. I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of it.
It's pretty lame.
It is. It really is. It's just the same. They're there to wonk finishes, and that's it. And they probably don't even know who's supposed to be leading the thing. They probably don't even know who's in it. It's irritating.
It's super irritating, man.
Yeah, because this is a fun match. I was into this match, dude.
Yeah. And we probably won't know anything about them. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe ever.
Yeah. Anyways, let's answer a couple questions before we call it a night.
Sounds good.
I got a thread up on the Patreon. I'm assuming there's some questions here on the Discord as well. I wonder if Dr. Steve is there.
Fear and Loathing, this has been bothering me since it started. Who is security actually keeping out of Raw Underground? Retribution, oddly enough. They haven't been to Raw Underground yet.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. There's no back doors, I guess, there in Raw Underground.
Guess not. One way in, one way out. Jorge D. Steven Larson, which wrestler do you guys think you could beat in an arm wrestling match?
Wait, what?
Which wrestler do you think you could beat in an arm wrestling match?
Oh, man. I don't even know. I was going to say something like Hornswoggle, but I don't know, man. He probably lifts.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Even the old time wrestlers like Arn and Tully, I wouldn't be able to beat them.
I guarantee you they all have super strong hands and forearms to this day.
Dude, I'd get murdered.
Yeah, Arn would wreck you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a Liv Morgan. Maybe Alexa Bliss. Maybe.
No, I don't know, man.
Probably
Alexa
pretty strong though.
Yeah,
probably
Alexa
pretty
probably
strong.
Beat you. Yeah.
Variable Null might have a good answer here. Lex Luger. Not in great shape.
Saw this. He says I'm done with the booking of my luchadors. Man is embarrassing, disrespectful to no end.
Yeah, well, Kalisto's jacked these days, so you got that.
But then they're breaking up Lucha House Party, it seems like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but dude, they need to be broken up anyways.
Zondo, Retribution is a synonym for payback. So I think we will have answers. Look at that.
Shit. That is the most coincidental shit I've ever heard. Let's see here. Dr. Steve Winters on the Discord says Vince and the writing staff are stuck at a sizzler arguing about splitting the bill. Production comes to you to write Raw on the fly. Pick two wrestlers to give the best 20 minutes on the fly match while you write Raw. I just say Kevin Owens and Aleister Black. Just go ahead and have a match.
Seth and Rey.
There you go. So Oscar Granados here in Discord says, who do you guys think these 6 are? And it's Retribution.
From tonight. So
it's Dio Madden, it's Dijak, probably Jesse Kamea. Who's really, really short? Who's a woman that's really, really short?
Caden Carter.
Possibly. That is possibly Caden Carter.
Zondo says, remember when Punk had to vacate the title after 1 punt?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 1 punt. That's funny. Alex Foster says, according to Ryan Satin, Malcolm Bivens told Vince he owns the rights to Keith Lee's NXT theme and that it wasn't used on Raw because he asked for $1 million / permission to use the Thunderdome on the weekends as a nightclub.
Oh, that's funny.
That's pretty funny.
Let's see. IDK Jose, will you guys register for Thunderdome?
Nah, because we gotta watch stuff and take notes and do stuff. I'm just too afraid that they'll catch me cranking it on camera.
Yeah,
that's a big concern. We'll be sitting there. Is that guy doing his thumb? Oh no, Steve! Crank it.
Diehard Homer out of Lashley, Batista, Brock. What one-on-one match would you want the most? He says Batista versus Brock. No, I think it's Lashley now. Give me Lashley versus Brock in some sort of shoot style Raw Underground match.
Yeah, dude.
But give it time.
Yeah, totally down for that.
Bangers and Mash just cuts to the chase. Does Roman win on Sunday?
You want to pop them ratings? Yep. Might not be smart, but it's going to pop ratings.
The thing I could confidently say is that Braun Strowman is going to be the person eating the pin in that match.
By the way, did we even mention that at the start of the show? That they mentioned that it's a no holds barred. It's no holds barred. Is that what they said?
I think so.
Triple threat
match. Yeah.
Yeah. For Payback. Yeah.
I will put all the confidence points on Braun Strowman eating a pin, though. He's getting pinned.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's happening. Smurf Galloway, should Keith Lee go straight for the title? That'd be interesting. So their match is at Payback. It's going to be a wonk finish. If Drew gets punted again, what if he has to vacate it? He might have to vacate it because of all the punting. Randy could pick it up that way. Keeps Drew looking kind of strong.
Maybe.
Not losing a match.
Maybe.
He's just not paying attention where he is. That was the funniest bit about that last punt. So he's looking at the camera saying, Randy, if you're watching this now. And Randy just sneaks up behind him.
Yeah, he was watching from behind.
Idiot. Turn around.
Yep, he's getting a little too... The thing about his promo, he was too much hubris. He thinks he's the greatest now, and he's forgetting what he said. He's not going to leave himself in a position to get RKO'd and now punted.
Yeah, and he did that endlessly tonight. Mm-hmm. And then even on the go home on Raw, when he tosses Randy out of the ring and then turns his back to him.
Yep. White Brownie 92, does Asuka defend her title at Payback? If so, against who? I feel like Payback is all the matches they might have thought they were going to do if SummerSlam was going to be in Boston as scheduled.
That could be.
Instead of doing one huge show, they're going to do 2 shows that are shorter.
There you go. That's actually a pretty good point. Gamer Realm. I have a prediction. After the events of last night, Sasha and Bayley will have tension that builds to Payback, resulting in a tag title loss, then rematch at Night of Champions, resulting in a possible DQ. We finally get Sasha versus Bayley at Hell in a Cell. That'd be cool. Hell in a Cell would be neat. This is a great question.
What?
Alex Foster. It's Vince's birthday. By the way, Happy birthday, Vince McMahon. He's probably 75 now. You guys are invited to Vince's birthday party.
Oh,
but
wow.
you each have to bring a gift. What do you bring?
Easy. Snow cone machine.
Ah.
He loves snow cones.
Yeah. What if you show up and there's already a snow cone machine there? But it's like a golden snow cone machine with a bust of him melded to it.
Okay.
He already has the ultimate snow cone machine.
I was going to say, is it a rental? Is he something that he's just
it's
renting
his.
for the party? Oh. Well, what's the old adage? It's a thought that counts. Vince, I know you like snow cones. I've never been to his house. I don't know if he
might want one in his bedroom.
You might want one in his office.
Yeah.
On his private plane. You don't know.
Vince, what room do you not have snow cones in? Now you do.
Now you do. Yeah. This is a great question from Gareth Nicholas. MVP referenced E40 tonight. What other Bay Area rappers does he like? Watch him show up in a Mac Dre shirt next week.
I was going to say Mac Mall. That's the one that Lacey always loved.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Joe Juarez, what would you rather do? Arm wrestle Mark Henry or a slapping contest with Walter?
Easily, it's arm wrestle Mark Henry. Because when you lose, just let it happen. Just let it happen. Slap contest, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
You are done.
Hood Alex 43. I hope in 5 to 10 years we get a Snyder cut by Bruce Pritchard, I assume on something to wrestle with, of all the ideas he had that Vince canceled. How much better do you think the show would be without Vince tearing everything up? I think Pritchard's job is essentially to facilitate Vince's vision.
Yeah, and he's not even. I think didn't they?
Ed Koskey apparently was a report that he was actually the one in charge of creative.
All the stuff we don't know. Okay,
it'll change in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. Gregory F says, "Okay, I'm going to try this." He says, "Sorry to be that guy, and don't apologize. I want to get your names right." He said, "My last name is pronounced, so I usually say Faella because it's like a double L, but it's not that.
Okay."
It's Faella. I think it's Faella.
Okay.
Gregory
okay.
Faella.
Okay.
Gregory Faella says, "But anyway, did you see the camera angle on the punt kick to Drew because it showed how bad Randy missed?" Yeah. Now, somebody posted in Discord. Who was this? Greg Morris posted in Discord. There's just a still of just how far away he is. It's hilarious.
I'm just trying to do something. Asked, has Retribution done anything to impress you guys?
No. No.
And if they had, they ruined it by celebrating about it afterwards.
Nothing. I thought the chainsaw was different. That's it. Did impress me though. It was just different.
Yeah. Lava Drake again with some bits. Says, "What's up, dudes? Didn't know you were on Twitch. Always catch your stuff on YouTube. When's the SummerSlam punishment?"
What's up, dude, Jack brother? This week sometime. I got to tell Lacey and have her do that. I'll probably try to do it live on Twitch too. I'll just get my phone, just start broadcasting on Twitch in the bathroom, and she'll bleach this side of my hair, right, from the part down. Let's see here. Sleazy Mo asks, if you could have any wrestler, this is easy. If you could have any wrestler's voice, who would you have? Easy.
Dr. Wagner Jr.
Mine would be Punishment Martinez. It'd be a Damian Priest. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Going in Raw. The only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to.
Milkman Leche says, breaking news on WB Twitter, but doesn't say what it is.
Let's see here. Here we go. Greg Morris. Push, bury, or release Samoa Joe, Cesaro, Nakamura. I would probably... I'd release Cesaro because I kind of want to see him go and do a G1.
Yeah, that would be my answer too.
I'd push Nakamura, and then you could bury Joe. Joe will be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's on commentary. Anyways, is that it for the show today?
Sure.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson.